Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC Wave 4. It's finally out! We got a trailer about a month ago in the last Nintendo Direct, which only showed Birdo and the Yoshi's Island course. I say only, but both of these were actually massive announcements. First of all, a completely new track. I feel like that's something we were all hoping for, but not actually expecting. They also confirmed more characters, so I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy Kong and Funky Kong got added in the future. Now that the game's out, I think it's worth going over the tracks and seeing how Nintendo's done this time. Amsterdam Drift. If you like London Loop, you'll probably like this one. I actually think this one's a bit better than the London one, as it has a similar style, but you can also go underwater in some sections. It's very clearly the stereotypical place that comes to mind when you think of Amsterdam, but they may have gone too far with it. For example, right next to the urban area is a scenic field place. I understand that they're trying to cram in all the features of the place, but it did feel weird going straight into a completely different area. It may actually be like this in Amsterdam though, who knows. This one actually stole the show for me, especially with its visuals. Riverside Park. I've been loving the remasters of the Super Circuit tracks, as they're really able to get creative when it comes to remaking the course. Back on the Game Boy Advance, the game was incredibly limited due to hardware, with the visuals looking similar to Super Mario Kart, and that's why Riverside Park looks nothing like the original, with lots of ups and downs, patooies, and nice water features. The patooies are cool as an obstacle, but it's hard to actually obtain the items that they hold, as you have to attack them to get it. This means that you have to spend an item to get an item? Weird. DK Snowboard Cross. Probably the most nostalgic track for me. This one doesn't disappoint. There isn't too much to say, as it's quite a faithful recreation of the original Wii track. It's still a distinctive track on its own with fun turns, obstacles, and most importantly the awesome half pipes all the way throughout. There's also a cool freezing effect when you dive through the thick snow. Yoshi's Island. This track really stands out from the others. As well as being a brand new one, it's in the style of a crossover track like Zelda, F-Zero, and the Animal Crossing ones, with unique sound effects, coins, and music. Visually, it represents the original SNES game very well. You've got the enemies, question mark clouds, and even the flower girl ring at the end. The cloud is actually functional too. If you hit it, an extra path appears above the road for you to speed ahead to the finish line on. The track layout itself has an interesting design, with a twisty path up the mountain and some fun underwater and gliding sections. Bangkok. This one is awesome. I've always wanted to go to Bangkok, and now I don't have to. They've done a lot of work since its release on mobile, which is great. I love the river part where you can drive over the boats and stuff. There seems to be a ton of shortcuts and alternate routes, which is always good to see. There are stairs around the place which lead to different places. It can be a bit confusing, but that's fine by me. Navigating these tour tracks is difficult, especially if you're new to the courses, but I enjoy how it keeps you focused. Mario Circuit DS, really cool track. As far as classic default tracks go, this is definitely one of my favorites. Way better than Toad Circuit. Toad Circuit was just bland and cringe. While they've done a lot with the courses, like adding a whole forest section, definitely doesn't give me as much nostalgia as a stage like DK Snowball Cross. They've sort of crossed a line where it's gone from a nostalgic original to its own thing entirely, so it doesn't resonate with me in the same way. That's not to say it isn't great, it's just very different. Waluigi Stadium. Waluigi returns in this wave with another solid track. Nintendo decided to remaster the newer Wii version with half pipes everywhere, which still feel great. A cool new addition is that you can now use the half pipes to access some bridges above the track. My only disappointment was that your wheels don't leave tracks behind in the wet mud. Singapore. This one's another pretty good city track. It starts off with you flying up to a rooftop pool, which you can then drive off and glide over the city. This is actually something I hope that the city tracks would do more, so it's great to see. While it is similar to the other city courses, there's a lot of variety in the track, and it's not just driving through the streets, and it all makes for a fun finale for Wave 4. Overall, it really feels like Nintendo's found their footing with the Mario Kart DLC. With the first couple of waves, it was easy to complain about the effort and detail put into the courses, but it seems like they've listened to feedback and made them more different from the tour versions. Speaking of tour, there's a lot now. I hope they dial it down from now on, because we've just got 3 more in this new edition. If they continue with this many, it's definitely too much, but I hope that won't be the case. As for future tracks, I'm hoping for a few, like DK Mountain, Cooper Cape, and Airship Fortress. As always, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.